All right, we're going to talk about a play that I already talked about with the broadcast, but now we've got the all 22, so we're going to go through that. But before we get to running back leak, we're going to talk about just real quick, just the blocking action here. So we got EQ blocking down. EQ's done a nice job. He's always been, ever since he came in the league, a willing blocker, if not a particularly good one. You can tell that's something he worked on. It's been showing up week after week. His ability, he's still not perfect, and especially for a guy his size, there's only so much he can do. He's never really going to be Lazard, but he does a really good job, I think, with what he has, and you can tell he takes pride on it, takes pride in his worked on it. But what the Packers are going to do, kind of a sweep look. And they're going to pull Deguara from the backfield, and Deguara levels a main. You've probably seen this play 1,000 times at this point, so we're not going to dwell on it too much. But I did want to talk about it because this is a way the Packers are getting us some power looks. They've been pulling some guards a little bit. We saw it earlier in the season. They pulled them, a decent amount against the Bears. But if they don't want to pull them and they want to keep kind of this zone blocking up here where it's just kind of the guys, strafing down or getting the double teams up front and not really leaving those holes when you pull, they're pulling Deguara. So that's going to come up again here in a second. So again, we're not going to spend too much time here, but I do want to show it for a couple of reasons. Deguara killing that man, but also that I formation look, and then Deguara acting as the lead, the fullback blocker, kind of the puller out of that look. So we'll look at it again here. EQ seals the guy. Really nice job. Deguara gets the guy in space. Now 36 is slipping a little bit, but he's slipping to try to get out of the way. He does not get out of the way. And you can tell Deguara is kind of feeling himself a little bit there. All right, so now with that, we're going to go to running back leak. And so a couple things I want to point out here that I did not get to when we talked about from the broadcast angle for reasons, I guess. All right, so there's a couple things, the presser I hadn't watched, but also you can't see everything from here. So what they're going to do, this is going to be, we got Deguara moving again, kind of a wide zone look, and then he's going to kind of act as a puller. So he's going to pull that way. Rodgers going to fake. Looks like he's booting. And what it looks like they're going to do, they actually do bring Adams here. Now on a PA boot, this would be, you'd have a sail route here. You'd have that guy in the flat, basically. So you'd have these three levels here. Now what they're doing instead is they are looking at a half boot throwback. So instead of the full play action boot, Rodgers is going to fake that, and he's going to camp there. So instead of that sail route, Marcedes Lewis is going there. Now, in the post-game presser, Rodgers said this was not meant to go to Aaron Jones. This was going to either Lazard, and they would clean this up a little bit. This was either going to Adams on the crosser, which would be your kind of standard boot look, or Marcedes Lewis, who's not running the sail, but he's running kind of that post there because the half boot pull up. None of those guys are open, and then what you'll see a lot on these is the running back will kind of leak out in the flat. Aaron Jones kind of leaks out in the flat, sees no one's there. There's a couple guys down there, and then he kind of keeps going on upfield. So this looks like kind of a throwback play on throwback action. Rodgers has said so it's not planned at all, but still a nice look, and you're still looking at a variant of the core concept because this is not play action boot. This is a half boot pull up of that, if you're with me. And I think you are, because you're all very smart and good looking. So there we go, a little half boot. We've got, and I love this. I talked about this before. I love that you've got the puller. So this is the flat. I think that's MVS sliced through from underneath, and he works the flat. Deguara worked from that strong side there. I don't know why I'm doing this here. Let's go back a second, because what they're going to do is he's going to pull through on the slicer, which you'll see on the PA boot, but then he'll work as like a wind back block option, but he kind of follows. So a lot of times you'll get kind of a slam route. I've talked about that before, where you kind of block down off the edge and go there, and you work in the space vacated that the flat vacates. Here, they're not doing that, but you have Deguara kind of working that way. So it's a cool look I've not really seen, and works off of the run concept we just looked at before, where he's working as that kind of lead fullback puller there. So kind of cool. I like that. Hope to see more of that out of that core concept in a little bit. So we will see. There's Jones. You can see him. There he is right here. So Rodgers pulling up. They've gone. I'll talk about him here in a second. So he was looking to go to Adams, who's bracketed. Right there. And you got Marcedes Lewis, bracketed there and there. But there's a whole bunch of space right there. And so Jones just kind of leaks out. This guy, I think it's, we'll see. I think it's this man here leaks out. And so Rodgers just kind of lollipops it. I guess that's a Collinsworth term, I think. Lollipops that over the top. Yeah, off the edge. Perfect throw. Lays it up. Really, really nicely done. And so here, we'll look at, last thing we'll look at here, and this is a guy we looked at the last time as well. We're going to look at 44, who if we are looking at from Elite Concept, which I hope we are now seeing a planned one going forward, that's the guy we're looking at here, because he's kind of the guy, what you're looking for to do off of this stuff is you're looking for that man to kind of come up on the play action, and then likely what's going to happen is it depends on a lot of stuff, but with that crosser, a lot of times when they see this play action boot, okay, they're going up, they're playing the run, oh no, it's a pass, so you pulled up, and now his responsibility is to fall under the crosser. And so this guy here, he totally vacates. So that's one of the reasons Jones is able to be so open, is because you can see him pulls up on the run, sees it, falls back under the crosser, the safety from that side falls under the crosser, and there's no one over there. So nicely done. Again, not planned, but it was nice by Jones to see it. Great throw by Rodgers, and I'm a big fan of the half boot kind of throwback concepts that you were looking to hit Lewis off of that, trying to play off those tendencies. So nice look overall, and one of these days we're gonna see a true Y leak or true running back leak. But man, until then, this was still gorgeous, so I'll take it.